Hello, I'm Jeff Wilson, founder and CEO of Pereview. In this series, we've talked about why centralizing and standardizing your data matters. We've talked about how to simplify your tech stack and why streamlining reporting is critical. And most recently, how AI and automation can add value to your asset management and other business processes. Today, we'll talk about something Pereview is uniquely positioned to do: manage both debt and equity investments in one platform. Here's the reality: trying to manage both in multiple systems is always more expensive and more time consuming. And therefore, you're going to get a smaller ROI on your tech investment. So let's dig in on this. With multiple systems, you're obviously paying for several different tools, all built by different vendors, each with their own way of modeling and defining data, which means you're also paying in time, complexity, and frustration. And here's the bigger challenge. As we all know, there are no standards in this industry for how to manage, model, or even refer to things. And so therefore, every vendor is going to have their own definitions, their own data structures, and their own terminology. And so that lack of consistency, therefore, makes integration pretty difficult. Core things like investment structures are defined and managed differently from one system to another, forcing you to constantly reconcile and normalize data before you can even start the reporting process. And so, if you've got a single fund with the mandate to invest in both equity and debt, then you'll need to produce consolidated reporting, right? Which means you'll need a consolidated technology platform to support that. And so why would you manage these requirements in multiple systems? Here's why this is so important. Your equity and debt teams both benefit greatly from being able to share the same information, such as property performance, underwriting assumptions, market comps, deal pipeline data. And if that information is living in multiple systems, neither side can leverage the other's data and intelligence. This, therefore, leaves blind spots and costly, inaccurate decisions. Let me give you an example. Let's say your debt team underwrote several multifamily deals in a Seattle suburb over the last year or so. And now your equity team is also looking at a multifamily deal in that same market. Well, the best comp that they can use isn't from a broker. It's not some anonymized market feed. It's the actuals your debt team already has: rents, taxes, insurance, OPEX stuff, real numbers confirmed and in your system. That's the most accurate, the most relevant, and in this case, free market intelligence you're ever going to get. But if that data is stuck in some other platform, or worse, buried in a spreadsheet, it's not helping anyone. Pereview fixes that by bringing debt and equity together in one place. Your teams work in a single system across the entire investment lifecycle, from sourcing to underwriting to asset management and to dispositions, with the same workflows, the same definitions, and the same reporting logic. No more reconciling definitions like NOI between systems, no more manual roll-ups, just one version of the truth. So when the equity team needs real performance data, it's right there. It's clean, standardized, and ready to use. We originally built Pereview from the equity side of the house and brought that same discipline to credit with a debt module that gives your teams deep visibility into the underlying collateral. That visibility isn't just a nice to have, it's essential for mitigating risk. The alternative? Well, you're duct taping perhaps multiple systems together: a loan pipeline system, a loan asset management tool, an equity deal tracker, a portfolio management system, all built by different vendors who define and model data differently. At that point, to bring all this information together from these 4 different systems, you're building a custom data warehouse, hiring developers, managing APIs, and trying to normalize all this information across multiple systems. In other words, You're in the software business, whether you want to be or not. And doing all this well takes a lot more time, and it's always much more expensive than anybody realizes. And by the way, the probability of failure is pretty high. Pereview simplifies all of it. One platform, one place to go for all of your answers, one reporting engine. Whether it's common equity, preferred equity, mezzanine debt, or senior debt, Pereview can manage it all. From fund strategies to deal pipeline to asset level execution, we give you complete visibility. And because everything's in one place, you can standardize your KPIs, you can streamline investor reporting, and you can produce truly consolidated dashboards across any fund, any structure, or any asset class. You're not making decisions off assumptions, you're working off how the asset is actually performing. And when it's time to report to your investors, you're not chasing down numbers, you're telling one story. That's the power of managing debt and equity in one platform, and that's the power of Pereview. For more information, please visit us at pereviewsoftware.com. Thanks for watching.